joking aside, and for those of you that know me, no comments about giving an officer a map, and if you know, you know. How many times have you found yourself in business where you've been at a junction, different directions to go, but not knowing which way to take? One of the things that I'm really clear on when I look at business are some of the really key lessons that I've taken from my military service. And actually, as I'm out today, you know, walking around up on the hills of Dartmoor, the bit that occurs to me is I wouldn't dream, regardless of what weather it is, what it's looking like, of coming out without precautions, and most importantly, without having a plan in place. So I've got my map. All things given, I actually do know where I am, but I also know the direction I'm going. I've got an idea of how long it's going to take me to get there. I know what to look for along the journey. You know, so I have an idea of what the destination looks like. I've got my resources in the back, so I know what I need. So I've got water, I've got some rations, I've got some emergency stuff in the back there if a crisis happens. What I see in business all too often is we just dive in to every day, to every week, to every quarter, every year with no plan. And it really is a case of, you know, we take our technical experience in terms of what we do and what are my technical processes and who I am in the business. So you might be a baker, you might be a plumber, you could be, an accountant. Doesn't matter what you are. But we take that technical ability and hopefully rely on that to get us to where we need to get to, without any account for putting plan and structure in place, having set some goals in terms of the direction that you want to have, having an objective of what it is you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. So when I work with any business owners, one of the key aspects is to actually start to teach planning. And the point here is, you could sit down and we could just dive straight into a 5-year plan. And that would be fantastic, but completely worthless unless we know how to actually start to follow and utilize that plan. And so planning really starts with one day. And it is, what am I going to do tomorrow? Or it might be in the morning, what am I going to do today? And take some time to plan. Not a list, not just creating a list of where you are and, the stuff that you've got to do, because as you all know, if you're just doing it on a list, all you end up with is the next priority is the one below. And when we do that, it's in perpetual motion and you won't change anything. But when we put a daily plan in, when we get militant about our time, when we focus on the things that absolutely need to happen that day, then we start to see the dial moving in the right direction. And once we can start planning on a daily basis, and in the military we used to actually call this daily detail, then you can move on and actually start planning on a weekly basis. And so what is it we're striving to achieve this week? And then looking at the work in progress, what needs to happen, where are we needing to get to, what direction do I need to give? So planning is something that can be trained. Planning isn't just admin. Planning isn't just a buggerance. Planning isn't just for those that haven't got a clue what they're doing. Planning is absolutely key to success in business. And here's the cliche. If you fail to plan, inadvertently, you're planning to fail.